Now, the 2024 general elections is heating up quite nicely. The MPP outdoors Dr. Bawumia's campaign team. Now, obviously, they are going to put their best foot forward. So we'll presume that what we're seeing is the best foot forward. Well, we're going to hear what panelists have to say on this matter. Now, on citinewsroom.com, there was a story yesterday, a couple of days ago. Bawumia's campaign team unveiled Dan Botwe named strategist, and Gideon Boako is the spokesman. And that story is by Hansen Ajiman. Now, the story says a new Patriotic Party has unveiled the campaign team for its flag bearer, Dr. Mohammed Bawumia, ahead of the 2024 polls. Now, the list includes Dr. Bawumia as the campaign chairman for the overall campaign coordinating committee, while Dan Botwe was unveiled as the strategist for the campaign. Now, Dr. Gideon Boako was also named as a spokesperson for the party's 2024 campaign, while Dennis Edward Abuaje was named Director of Communications. Now, there's actually a full list, a comprehensive list of the campaign team on citinewsroom.com. You can go and read that later on. Let me just read this bit here where it talks about a national campaign coordinating committee which shall oversee the work of other committees will be chaired by the 2024 presidential candidate, that's Dr. Mohammed Bawumia, and assisted by the vice presidential candidate. The national chairman, the general secretary, and the regional chairpersons shall also serve on the national campaign coordinating committee. The party added in the statement signed by its general secretary, Justin Kodua Frimpong. All right, let me come back to you, Nana Kwame. So this is the winning team?
Thank you. First and foremost, I must commend Dr. Mohammed Bawumia. In fact, the speed at which he is moving, the pace at which he is going, gives me some confidence. Proud to all these things. I had some few pointers in head or mind that I believe was going to be the basis upon which we were going to win or break the 8 as our mantra. One, proud to all everything was the presidential candidate we were going to elect. Two, was going to be the vice presidential candidate we were going to pick to partner the presidential candidate.
Have you chosen the person yet?
Not yet. And then three,
for a pastor to choose.
And then three was going to be the parliamentary candidate that will front all the 275 constituencies and their elections.
Okay.
We've been successful with the presidential candidate. We've been successful about 90% with the parliamentary candidate, with a few pocket ones that we have to clear. Then we would hang on to do the running mate. But key among all this one, the oil to run it, is the campaign team. Barely 3 months ago, we elected the presidential candidate. Barely 3 months. The presidential candidate has come out to outline his policies, vision, clearly stated. Amidst that, within a few days after announcing his policies and vision, has again come out with his campaign team. Fantastic, super. Super. Look, we had a presidential candidate that was elected. It's more than a year now. We do not even know the clear-cut vision that they are bringing on the table. When you ask them, they will tell you 24-hour economy. We do not know the campaign team that is supposedly going to run the elections. We do not know the running mate that is going to partner to run the elections. I mean, when I am a member of MPP and all these things are happening, I mean, it gives me a certain confidence that, look, your political party is ready to hold on and break the 8. Look, when you look at Nana Komia, I mean, and Dan Botwe, he is one of the most experienced respected, strategic member of the MPP, having run several elections, being the general secretary of the party. And one most important thing for me is former national chairman for Nanado's campaign, Mr. Peter McMahon, now coming to handle the electoral matters of the campaign. I mean, when you look at the formation, it's like we are going to play the World Cup and look at the formation we are playing. The 4-4-2.
But once you have released,
you see how we
no, but once you have released your team, the opposition also knows that okay, it's simple. Let's put this one here, put this one here.
But obviously, when you are going to play football, you put your team there. They also put their team there. But it's about the sharpness of your players, the experience of your players, the skills of your players, and the unity at which the players are playing.
There's only one question I have for you: why is Kobna Ejipon a senior campaign aide instead of someone in management of this campaign?
You see, I think that even before the mentioning of the campaign team, you most often than not find Kwabna close to Dr. Bawumia. Most importantly. See,
but with his experience, he should be handling stuff at a much higher level.
They don't trust him. It's not about trust. If you don't trust him, you won't get him close to the presidential candidate. If you don't trust somebody, you won't get him close to them. You can even have a campaign manager, you can even have a campaign advisor. But the one closer to the campaign manager whispers a lot into the ears. And they speak. Look at them. Look at the telepathy between them. Every picture, everywhere they go. So it's not about trust. Okay. For me, I even think that he will be functional where he has been placed than anywhere else. Because at that point, you contribute to management, you contribute to operation, you contribute to whatever it is happening because you are close. Okay. So I do not think it is any...
Madam Botche's laurels also come from 25 years ago.
No, we have Kufuor there, we have all the...
but those are advices.
Yes,
but
because
in terms of strategy, I mean, he did his bit under Kufuor.
Yeah.
It's a kick now.
I mean,
and
he was a much younger man.
It is not.
Much younger man, a lot more energy, a lot more strategy, all of that.
It is important to understand that every election is unique in its own way.
Okay.
But don't forget that you pick one or two lessons from previous elections to predict the next elections. It gives you a certain idea how this one is going to look like.
Okay.
So these are colossus, these are old men, these are experienced hands who are coming on board to bring the experience. And don't forget, we have the sharp boys. Those are the ones going to do the finishing. Okay. The Akbar, the Krobia, the
you guys,
and all those ones.
Dennis, I said Dennis, Murtala, you guys on the other side must be shaking your boots by now because they are bringing experienced people in the midfield, handling matters, and then their strikers are also there. What are you going to do?
As a matter of fact, we celebrated.
Really?
It's interesting, and Ghanaians should be worried that the MPP is not interested in breaking the economy that they have grounded to zero, economy they have messed up. Their focus is breaking the aid. That for me is legendary in a very negative fashion. Your focus is how you break the economy so that the good people of this country can live a life that is fairly acceptable. But you have subjected everybody in this country into an intolerable economic quagmire. And you are celebrating that this morning. Anyway, that is MPP for you, the good people of this country. Now, he provided standard. He said sharpness, experience, and what again? He used those unity. How do you have your presidential candidate elected and you describe that as unity when one of the contender broke and formed his party? That cannot be unity. That certainly cannot be unity. You went into your presidential primaries and a force, a colossus, let me use your words this morning, decided to break away to form a party. You sit here and you describe that as you had it elected. You elected a presidential candidate that indeed demonstrated unity. That certainly cannot be unity. My 2 years, 4 months daughter knows that this cannot be described as a unity. So, my brother, just move away from that. He's talking about experience. None of the people you have elected, including Dambochi, a person I respect so much, can be compared to General Mosquito in terms of experience. General Mosquito has contested more elections, more than any of them, won electoral victory than any of them, either as a member of parliament or even as someone who is a general secretary. He has more experience. More experience. Dambochwe won only 1 elections. 1. So when you sit here and you want to celebrate him, as the general secretary, he won only 1 elections.
But
no, let me finish.
But to be
he
fair,
won only 1 presidential. Oh, please, he won only 1 presidential election.
To be fair, when we look at Ivory Coast,
yes,
nobody expected them to win.
Well, that's a blip. You can have that happen. Now, I am making my analysis based on the statement analysis he made.
Okay.
He provided the standard. He said sharpness. He said experience. He said proven records. I mean, he mentioned. And I want to go by his own standard. In terms of experience, Dambochwe, I respect him. He can't be compared to General Mosquito under any circumstance. General Mosquito has won more elections than him as a member of parliament. He has indeed won more presidential elections than him. He has more reach than him. So get that very, very clearly.
Okay.
Now, again, you are talking about even the sharpness. He said, Akbar has never contested even branch elections. He's my kid brother. Then it's Miracle. Contested elections and lost. So on what basis? Anyas, Dr. Anyas. I defeated him. He lost presidential parliamentary elections 3 times. What experience is he bringing on board?
So you are not afraid of them?
No, I'm saying that I am going by his own standard. Just let me use his standard as analysis. None of them. So when you talk about sharpness, look at the people we have.
Okay.
They have a proven record. And in any case, he peddled a falsehood here. He said that President Mohammed was elected and he didn't provide a vision. That is not true. President Mohammed, after he was elected, addressed the people of this country at UPSC. You guys, you are in Jupiter at that time.
What did he say?
You are in Jupiter. You see, you guys are now run away from Central University. Central University was where Dr. Bawumia was using to do his voodoo economics. And he's been exposed big time. So he has decided to also go to UPSC. Once President Mohammed has delivered his vision to people who are industry players. And I can tell you at the Ministry of Trade alone, a minister and a committee that I participate in drafting the NDC manifesto, I can tell you our policy position at the Ministry of Trade and Industries. Now, you sit here and then you tell me that we haven't provided any. What did you? Dr. Bawumia spent 90% of his time attacking the vision of President Mohammed. Yes, it's true. Dr. Bawumia has a vision. Unfortunately, that vision is blurred. It's completely blurred. You can't even see it. So let me be very clear. These elections we are getting into, even the parliamentary candidates you have elected, he says it was very peaceful. No. There are threats of people contesting as independent parliamentary candidates from MPP in your strongholds in many areas. As we sit today, there's a serious crisis in Yendi. So when you sit here and then you tell people that, oh, you had everything, it was smooth, Dr. Bawumia will be asked questions. And those questions are going to be asked based on his own statement. But I want to make this point.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
I listened to my good friend, Dr. Gideon Boaku, on your sister media house, specifically PM Express. And Evans asked him that, he was curious about her addition into the campaign team. This is a woman who pretended to be preaching the word of God and praying with women. Little did we know that it was all done with an objective.
Whose addition?
Miss Joyce Ayi. But let me make this point. Now, Gideon Boaku said, you see, I am very close to Miss Joyce Ayi. Even Miss Joyce Ayi is being given Dr. Bawumia advices on the matter of religion. Mind you, Miss Joyce Ayi participated in that fraudulent cathedral building. In fact, she took the president to that place, where over $200 million have been spent so far in digging holes. Now, Ms. Joyce, I want to look into your cameras. I respect her so much. But I want to look into your cameras and ask her one simple question. Madam, since you have been given Dr. Bawumia and the wife advices on matters of religion, you are a very good Christian. I know the unbridled, uncompromising position of Christianity, Islam on LGBTQ nonsense. What kind of advice have you been given to Dr. Bawumia? President Mohammed has stated his position very, very clearly on the matter of LGBTQ. I want to know the advices you have been given to him. Because I have been demanding that as a senior brother and as a Muslim, he must state his position on the LGBTQ nonsense. He's yet to do that. Maybe perhaps my honorable friend will be able to tell us the position of Dr. Bawumia on LGBTQ. I want to know what
Dr.
Ms.
Bawumia can speak for himself.
No.
I think he can speak for himself.
Dr.
When he has a
Bawumia,
spokesman,
so he
who's your good friend? So let him speak to
Dr.
you.
Bawumia, my senior brother should tell us. You know why? You know why?
What?
There has never been a convergence of global religions and faiths on a matter than they are all collective and universal anti-position on LGBTQ. Dr. Bawumia,
we have a few more to do, so let's wrap it. Yes, quickly.
At least for me, the MPP allowed a contest in the presidential primaries.
we did too.
At least
We did.
we allowed a contest.
Okay.
Not like
What are you
the,
saying?
not like the NDC
How?
that ended up muscling out everybody who stood as a blockade or a threat to former President John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
At least we did.
Okay.
Now he's talking about breakaway.
Yeah.
Ask him, what did the NDC do when Nana Konedu Ajimai Rollins, the one who provided the
but that's
eagle head?
history.
No, yes. So history will guide you that when Reku Bobe broke away from MPP in 2000, we won the elections. Okay. If it's history, then let history guide you that when Reku Bobe broke away, we won elections. So now, if that history will go, or is anything to go by, then what do you call it? Alan Chamantin breaking away means we are winning elections.
Okay, all right.
No.
Yeah.
You see,
But he started, so I will have. He started.
Independent.
Seconds, please.
Independent candidates. Like we have that in every political party. We have that. They do. We also do. But what is important is how you manage it. That is why the National Council has set out a reconciliation committee in all the regions who are going constituency by constituency to try and deal with matters of such nature.
Right.
So that we resolve all these things and come out stronger.
Okay.
Now, Damboche.
Please,
Every
you have 10
election
seconds, I beg you.
Damboche manages. He wins.
Okay, thank you. That's a good subject.
It's true.
Yes,
History
please,
background,
a few
one
seconds.
background from this party, they won the elections too. You want us to talk about history? Why? Every single statement I made here, he set the standard.
Okay.
And the standard he provided using as the basis for which we must praise them. He used sharpness. He used experience. What I did was nothing except that I dismantled that wobbling standard that he said. Why? These elections we had, and it's important. It's important. When the NDC had our elections, we have never said that people cannot break away. But when you have a presidential aspirant who decided to break away to form a party, yet you ignore all this and you tell me, hold on, I beg you, I listen to you, I listen to you, I beg you.
We need to make progress.
And yet you ignore that and you tell me that, oh, it was very smooth. I was just pointing out to you that it wasn't smooth. On the issue of the election, nobody was prevented from contesting.
All right, okay.
There were people who filed to contest your parliamentary presidential primaries. They were disqualified. So you muzzled them out.
Okay, thank
What
you.
What logic is this?
I have some
Have you
messages
forgotten?
here. Let me just